Hey, hello guys. So you guys have, how are you doing? I hope you would be having a great day. So today was a fantastic day. I met co-founder of Base Thesis Labs, met co-founder of Smallest.ai, and just was exploring some good things. So let me open something you might be feeling interesting after seeing that. Let me open that. So if I get sleepy, right, forgive me. Just a second. Let me reshare. If I sleepy, feel sleep, call me in my number. My number I will be giving you in chat. So it's 9178 380 38429. Yeah. Just give me a missed call. 78380 38429. Just to repeat. Give me a missed call. Yeah. Okay. Just joking. Don't give me missed call under period time. So I am yeah. So you were thinking what this guy is showing, like what kind of Russian dolls are this? Like so it's a famous not that kind of Russian things, but like this is a famous Russian doll called Matryoshka, right? So how do you pronounce Matryoshka? Matryoshka pronounce. You pronounce
You pronounce Matryoshka as Matryoshka with a stress on the third syllable,
Matryoshka.
posh, though the original
Matryoshka.
Russian is closer to Matryoshka. Matroska is the Y
Matryoshka.
sound often gets softened in English. Key
Matryoshka.
points stress the O
So Matryoshka embedding models. Okay. So I think what do you understand? Like okay, it's like a compression. So compression of like okay, there are 1024 embeddings, and I wanted to compress. I don't wanted to utilize complete embedding dimension space or 768. This field I will be using. Okay, 768 property is like is kind of okay. So 768, then 512, then 256, 120, and then 6432. So it's like okay, there are a lot of embedding models, and so what's very interesting is like they have a good blog like Matryoshka embedding model. So if I wanted to introduce you to embedding models, what are the embedding models? Embedding models are kind of a language understanding. Okay, so if I am a 5-year-old person, 5-year-old kid, and my parents are grabbing me and putting me into a high school, not a high school, actually a LKG, UKG class. So there, the first thing I would be taught like is cat. Okay, cat. I have seen cat beforehand, but do I know that it is a called a cat? Okay, might be from you are familiar in Hindi or like your native language. Mine is Hindi, and maybe your anything your native language, and it's calling it something like Billy or meow or something like you have some kind of mental image or some kind of picture. Okay, so that is actually a feature. Okay, so that's called embedding. I think embedding is actually okay, an object is there, so there are like a lot of features that can describe an object, and mm, embedding actually help you to plot that object on a vector map. So suppose you are in origin, and like the vector pointing to the object is like a in a n-dimensional embedding space. So that will be pointing to the vector, that's the object. And what else, so there are multiple kind of embeddings like majorly I think sorry 4096 and 2048 and 1024 are very famous embedding models. Like one is your clip embedding and tokenizer. Clip is a tokenizer actually. Clip is an embedding tokenizer. So embedding, lot of embedding models are there. And So embedding model, does it contains only these things only, like features? Are you sure? Like anything else can possible? I am thinking. So tokenize and then convert into embedding space, and okay, embedding. There are some features for an option. So what are the general? Hey, this is this. I don't know, but there are a lot of bugs in my room. If you know any good solution for bug, let me know. I wanted to get rid of the bugs. Like there are a lot of things, but yeah, let me know. I think yesterday after yesterday somehow the bugs have been increasing day by day. No worries, okay. Let me know how to remove the bugs from the room. But okay, so where was the embedding means feature? Okay, how do I represent an object? Maybe it can be a shape, maybe it can be some property like color, or maybe it can be like some feature of it. Plus the that's the object you are pointing to can see like or can maybe can hear or something like maybe some profile forward like can walk, can breathe, can reproduce, mm, can then think, can climb on tree, can swim, or some maybe something. Lot of things are there, and then you relate. Okay, okay, these are the features that, in simple terms, like I like one example, like you're a mermaid. Okay, you see first time a mermaid. The mermaid looks like a human being. So I don't actually, but yeah, mermaid looks maybe like in series, like okay, when they come out, they changes the character, but inside they can, or maybe have you seen Aquaman? Okay, in Aquaman, a person can, okay. So does this person can talk, speak, and all like human being? So it's a feature of a human, but okay, it can hold his breath inside the water and something. So it's like belonging, not belonging to some belonging to some other features density also. So then he find it a combination and like so these are the things. So these are the properties, and these properties get evolved in the embedding space, and like then you establish okay, this is the Aquaman only. So you combine multiple properties and you improve the person's like okay, earlier okay, the person he beat the person just grab jump into the water. So you have some thinking about okay, the person jump into the water, he will be like holding the breath, he has some limitations on the number of minutes he would be living inside. But then he suddenly realized okay, he's like okay, this and this words are there, and so he is able to breathe the water and breathe inside the water. So it's like what is it like? So what is it like? It's like Aquaman. Okay, Aquaman. Okay, then it's no issue of him beating inside the water, so he can beat anytime inside. Okay, so that's kind of embedding things, and embeddings are the main characteristics like n-dimensional space where every compression and decompression and everything is happening in our LLMs. So yeah, that's one feature, and so like what are the advantages of big embedding models? Like so it's like okay, there are a lot of features, and I think each feature is independent. I we believe so. Okay, each features are independent, and I think there are a lot more features. So things like calculation become increasingly like calculation increases day by day, and like everything is running and I think that's all from my side. Like I know just these things about I am beating like there are other things also okay. So this dimension, how much progress and all like they are like stochastic gradient plus like there is some this gradient. This is very famous. Like what's the benchmarking gradient? Like forgot. So there is one normal gradient, there is one batch gradient, there is stochastic gradient, there is. Mm, Oh, it's state of the art gradient. Optimizers and okay, like back propagation techniques actually. Okay, I was confused. Okay, so this was the thing I told you about embedding. What does it mean? In this, so like let's start introduction to Matryoshka embedding model. So Matryoshka embedding model. So first of all, the question is like why, number one, why we have. Today also I was participating in one of the hacks that there were some good problems and I came to know okay people doesn't know really about people doesn't know really about this thing. So what is called? It's called a JAPA genetic potato algorithm. Hmm. Why am I Yoshka? Okay. In the blog post, we will introduce you to the concept of Matryoshka embeddings and explain how they are useful. We will discuss how these models are theoretically trained and how you can train them using sentence transform. Actually, we will provide practical guidance on how to use Matryoshka embedding models and share a comparison between Matryoshka embedding models and a regular embedding models. Finally, we will invite you to check our interactive demo that showcases the power of this model. Okay, they are making some interactive demo that I like about the things. So why I prefer Hugging Face is like one of these factors. Practice demo is okay thing that can increase the person's visual ability. Okay, comparison is okay. Comparison maybe the thing like I didn't got the answers of yesterday's question. Like what was the why do we use PostgreSQL? Okay, still I don't know, but okay. We would be following up this after this questions like previous videos. If you are not watching, I don't recommend you go and watch my 36-minute video. After that I am sleeping for 1 or 12 minutes. Yeah, so in this blog post we will introduce you to my Matryoshka embedding and explain why they are useful. Why they are useful should be the first question. So why they are useful, like what is that underlying principles that okay there are things like okay it's faster, so it's not a thing that you personally describe like but okay something is faster but it can might not be accurate in your case scenario. So how do you describe and think from the inner working perspective is very really important. So we will discuss how these models are theoretically trained and how you can train them. Okay, how these models are theoretically trained. How this last time I saw because I just like did it and I was thinking okay and I slept. So I won't be doing like this. Okay. If I do right, you have know my number 7830384 and call me. Call me. I won't feel anything bad. We will discuss how this model are theoretically trained and how can we use by sentence transformer. Okay. Additionally, we provide a practical guidance on how to use Matryoshka embedding and share a comparison. So embedding are one of the most versatile tools in natural language processing, enabling bacteria to solve a large variety of the tasks. Okay. In essence, an embedding is a numerical representation of a more complex object like text, images, or audio. So I was also thinking like, okay, you are feeding those lot of data and you are creating finally a compressed state in the model that's called yeah. So but how would you have multiple layers kind of like suppose someone has a layer for agentic payment that he wanted to integrate on the top of your system, then how would you be able to integrate the things? And So tax is a pretty easy problem. I think tax, like there are a lot of properties that people are just asking to follow up, and maybe after some training, hard work, interviews, and all, they finally when come into this method, come into this process. So yeah, I don't know I am a good salesperson or not, but yeah, I had helped you in getting my customers. Okay, remember me. Don't worry, I haven't slept. I am just thinking of acting of a sleeping. But yeah, actually, I'm very feeling very sleepy. I don't know why am I feeling sleepy? Can I sleep for 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes. Please wake me up. Okay, so it's like it's the power put when you don't make up shit, no? It's not actually last time, but actually, just but it's like